True believers, it's your man Keanu believes. Folks, El Salvador just played you like Jigsaw. Played all those kids and saw. And there was absolutely nothing that you or anybody else could do about it because there were banks, there were big investors, everybody was helping because everybody has a vested interest in El Salvador being the first country to make Bitcoin legal tender. So everything went down exactly as predicted. And if you followed the President Bukele's Twitter at any point, then you will know exactly why that happened, how that happened, and you should be very afraid. Also, in 24 hours, you're going to be watching Keanu Reeves debut the Matrix 4 Resurrections trailer. And if you're in Keanu Inu, it's going to feel like, for some reason, that you get to see the Matrix 4 twice. This is not financial advice, but I am always right.
Sometimes I feel like a freak. I picture myself on the movie.
All right, guys, CoinGecko is showing a market of $2.154 trillion with a 24-hour volume of $283 billion. That is a significant and huge amount to be trading over a 24-hour period. We got a 9% dip, but guess what? When you start to look at the numbers and you start to analyze, then you know that the reason for everything happening yesterday was one and one reason only. Well, it's a couple of different factors, but the general consensus and the general number one factor is El Salvador purposely tanked the Bitcoin market so that it could improve its position. I've even got the math to show you exactly how that worked so that you understand what it was that was going on. And El Salvador is trying to make Bitcoin a legal tender. So it is very easy for people who are adopters of Bitcoin to help them along. And it's easy to manipulate the market, as people are finding out in the last few months. So here we are today. Moving on. All right, guys, let's get going on Bitcoin. If you notice, the market absolutely tanked yesterday and took us from a little over 52,000 in Bitcoin all the way down in a very flash movement to $42,990. And when that happened, that should have been the biggest piece of news on the planet in cryptocurrency. Everybody should be covering it. Everybody should be figuring out why it happened non-stop. But you know what? Here's the truth. The truth is the media, all of these people are out to manipulate you. They are doing it every single day. You don't see it. You don't know it. But let me tell you how you can figure it out. In your mind, you know the biggest story of the day was what happened with Bitcoin. So, what are we covering here? Crypto news, that's part of market. Okay, so what are we covering here? Bitcoin fundamentals remain strong despite flash crash. Coinbase versus sketchy SEC reminds of crypto regulation challenges. Bitcoin accepted at Starbucks, McDonald's, and everywhere in El Salvador. And then where do we go? Well, let's go to CoinDesk. Oh, SEC threatened to sue Coinbase over lending products, CEO says. Rob Gronkowski follows Tom Brady into crypto in ambassador's role with Voyager Digital. Here's how the U.S.'s infrastructure bill crypto tax provision might be implemented. And then down here you have an opinion. El Salvador's bold bet on Bitcoin could inspire the world. Here we have a small article. Bitcoin price tumbles as El Salvador's Bitcoin law goes into effect. Like that, none of that describes why anything happened. Nobody gives a shit why anything happened. And you know why? Let's move on. Chairman of Nigerian Economic Crimes Commission, crypto growth is far greater danger to the world economy. Crypto exchange Binance ceases trading in Singapore dollars to comply with regulations. There's nothing. There's just absolutely nothing. Nobody is covering what is going on with the Bitcoin price. Everybody that is in charge of giving you information and telling you what to think and giving an investor sentiment on the day, all they're telling you right now is, hey buddy, everything's fine. keep giving us your money. Don't worry about the man behind the curtain because you didn't see anything. The one place that starts to cover it is the block. And it says Bitcoin plummets $10,000 on El Salvador's first day. Now, I don't know how you feel about hyperbole. I'm not sure what you think of the investment of Bitcoin, but let's move on to what I call math. So El Salvador had 400 Bitcoins. If they sold at 51,000, which I did it at 52,710 by the time I got done, because that's when the big sell-off happened if you're looking at the charts and you're looking at the max amounts and when a lot of big sales were happening. They sold 400 Bitcoins. That would be a total of $21,084,000. And if they bought back in at the bottom, which was around 42.9, with their $21,084, that would give them 491 Bitcoins. Plus, it was already known by Bukele that he intended to buy more. Now, what exactly happened? Well, let's go look. So when you go to the El Salvador president's Twitter page, here's what you're going to see in his replies. It appears the discount is ending, and he's predicting that this low price is going away. Thanks for the dip, IMF News. We saved $1 million in printed paper. El Salvador now holds 550 Bitcoin. Now, in order for 550 Bitcoin, he probably needed to sell a little bit, and that is what started the crash. Now, what nobody wants to say, because they don't want the International Monetary Fund coming at them, is that the IMF, they didn't have anything to do with this. This wasn't a target. This wasn't a malicious attack on anybody. This was El Salvador taking advantage of a situation in which they could quickly manipulate a flash dip in the market and secure a much better position for their government. And you can think what you want about the government being involved in Bitcoin, but I'm telling you, the math works itself out and tells you that El Salvador was in on the whole thing. So, if you're a Salvadorian, salute. If you are not, you got played. That's the way that this works. That's the way they're going to do it, and they're going to keep doing it. And you know what they did? They also suddenly have put a ton of pressure on other countries, because now other countries are going to need to keep up, because guess what? El Salvador now controls 550 Bitcoin. There are 17.5 million Bitcoin in the world, 48.8 million millionaires, which means that there's not even one Bitcoin for every millionaire, and El Salvador now controls 550 of them. So if you think shit's not about to get real, shit's about to get real, and this product right now is about to get sent, and it's going to take the rest of the market with it. Except Ethereum, because Ethereum can't stop printing NFTs. Moving on. All right, to celebrate, what did Ethereum do? Ethereum fees skyrocket on market-wide crash and NFT minting event. Ethereum saw its average network fees surge by 300% yesterday, probably caused by the market-wide collapse and a minting event of a hyped project. The fees of the Ethereum network once again skyrocketed. This time it seems to have been prompted by two separate causes: the market-wide collapse and an anticipated minting of a new NFT collection. So, I continue to tell you, I continue to say it, and you continue to witness it. Everybody who is a reasonable investor is being priced out of the Ethereum market, and there is absolutely nothing anybody can do about it. The only thing that you can see is the average fees on Ethereum were recorded at $21.29 on September 7. Yeah, bullshit. What they're giving you, crypto potato, what they're giving you is some kind of lowball number to let you know that that is just, if you kind of go through here, then you will see your base, that's your what they call the base fee, which is what they're now burning on every transaction. That is not the entire fee that you're paying for, and that's why you're paying hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of dollars for every single transaction, because they are doing everything they can, miners I mean, to get as paid as they get. Maybe we need more miners, but the traffic congestion tells us in the Ethereum network that it just can't handle it, so it's prioritizing, and here we are. But on September 12th, 4 days from now, Cardano opens up smart contracts, which means some of the stress might be alleviated. Solana has a giant NFT collection. Cardano has a large NFT collection. Matic has a large NFT collection. Maybe everybody in the Ethereum world will start to merge their stuff onto these more robust networks that can handle it instead of leaving it on Ethereum. But that remains to be seen. Here we are, priced out of markets, and everybody's still sitting looking at charts saying everything's fine. Everything is not fine. You are being screwed over, and you're not doing anything about it. Moving on. All right, guys, Cardano just made an announcement. Cardano will see smart contracts launch on the public testnet on September 12th, bringing the much anticipated upgrade to the public. IOHK, the development team behind Cardano, announced that the smart contract upgrade will launch on the public testnet on September 12. The company tweeted on September 7 that the Cardano update, called Alonzo, will trigger the hard fork over the weekend. Alonzo is a major step forward for Cardano, bringing smart contracts to a network that has been in development for years. It's one of the biggest upgrades to arrive and could make the network a real contender in the decentralized app space. Now, one of the things that we did learn about it is that reflection and the things that go along with the smarter of the smart contracts in the ERC20 universe. And remember, even though we're ERC20 tokens and we're part of dog token world, dog tokens are very, very simple contracts that just they cast a reflection or they send things to specific places, so it's very simple. However, reflections do not work on Cardano, or so I have been told by a developer. So anybody migrating over will not receive reflection, but you will be able to trade at a fair and reasonable price once everything gets going and the pools have been created. So if you're a developer and you're part of the ERC20s and you have not so far, now is the time to get ready to create a pool, to wrap your tokens into Cardano so that you can do some serious trading and maybe help your people out and give them purpose and something to do, because they're priced right out of the Ethereum market right now. And if you don't believe me, go look at the most active Ethereum coins right now. Go look at them and tell me what you think about the number of transactions that are happening on #1 ranked tokens or #2 ranked tokens. By the time you get to #5, you're going to be wondering why there's no transactions and why they're so slow, because you're priced out of the market. Moving on. Guys, I'm not going to get too deep into Solana today, but I want you to look at the chart, and I want you to see this is Bitcoin's chart, and you can just see this transfer over here all the way down. This is when the dip happened. 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 Oh my God, where's the dip? Solana is continuing to hold price while everything else, and just look at the chart right now, everything else is trading in the red at the moment, or trending even on their days. Solana is still up 49% and is only down 10% over the last 24 hours, and it did not have near the dip that every other token had, and it's already in recovery mode. So guys, keep your eyes on Solana. It is not to be trifled and messed with. Moving on. All right, Keanu Army trading at 76.39. That's down 8% on the day. Definitely want to see more life out of it. There's a lot of sell-off. There's a lot of buy-in. It seems to just be a battle at the moment between the larger investors, because, again, we've priced the small person out of the market unless they want to pay an inordinate amount of money just to get into something right now. But on the good side, on Friday, September 10th, there will be a voice chat with MaxShawn 100's manager. It will not include a reveal on who the surprise guest is. I'm pretty sure you're going to have to take a red pill to guess that one. So be there at, the time is 4 p.m. Eastern Standard, 1 p.m. American West Coast. So stay tuned for that. and I'm pretty sure it's going to be exciting. Moving on. Hokk in the house, trading at 77.32. That's about dead even with yesterday, down 1%. Trading volume, just like every other token right now, is down because all you're getting are the big purchases, but you're getting a lot of big buy-in right now. There's a lot moving in the positive direction, and you know what? There was a stealth announcement a little while ago. Not only is Hokk now doing transactions, this was, by the way, a stealth launch. It is also carrying charts so that you can check out the price, and you're able to zoom in and out and check it out, and it has gas fees down at the bottom to try to make everything as easy and all-encompassing as possible. Hokk, they're doing great things, and that's a very good sign. Moving on. All right, Sanshu is basically the little dog that could at this point, because it is now trading at 1969, up 20.8% on the previous day, and I think everybody should want to be just like Sanshu at the moment, up 20% on the day. And if you are interested, go into their Telegram and you will be able to test out the beta dog park if you have the appropriate privileges, that is. But at 1969, that's a very good start. The market, I mean, again, it has to be noted, these are large purchases. These are people that are paying a lot of money to get into this. People are priced out of the market right now, but the whales continue to feast. Moving on. Floki Vikings, you guys are in the house today, trading at 13.94. That's a little bit down, but when we got into chat yesterday, you were at around 12.94. Now it's at 13.94, so you're up for when the conversation was happening. And for those of you that are unaware, in 6 hours from right now, there is a chat which will include a marketing announcement. And I got to tell you, the developers are incredibly excited. There is a buzz in the air for this chat right now. Also, here's a statement on Telegram right now. Vikings, before I head off to bed, this is from Roman, by the way. I thought it would be nice to share just a few things the team has been up to today. The marketing department has been sealing some amazing marketing deals from Floki. Expect more of the great stuff we've done so far, as well as some big announcements. We are planning our expansion into new national community and global regions. Tomorrow, as you know, there will be a significant update about our marketing advances in the Asian regions. We are working on further pressing marketing and expansion. The Valhalla team is working hard, but I cannot give information about this. We may have some little updates to share soon. As B hinted earlier, we are preparing some very exciting things for the Million Gardens movement. Some reasons to celebrate the community today has been a market-wide dip in crypto, yet we, the Floki Vikings, have remained super based and unfazed. The fact is, we recognize that dips are simply steps in the road to Valhalla, and that this is actually just a market-wide dip with the fundamentals of the project. We're a part of the project Floki is planning, and the fact that the project and community have already shown that we are literally indestructible. We will stay Flokish. Big up to every Viking out here for being so based. Our holder count has increased rapidly in the last few days. We've gained thousands of holders. Crypto-educated Vikings know that this is a fundamental show of strength and is preparing the ground for the coming Flokimandu summoning. Let's keep shilling the heck out of the projects we have lined up and our partnership and get more people on board. We're also taking over YouTube currently. Not me, by the way. I'm doing this for free. In the past 2 weeks, we've had multiple YouTube accounts with hundreds of thousands of subscribers share us, covering our NFT game Valhalla and covering Floki in general, including the story, Kimball Musk partnerships, and more. This is great exposure. This is great exposure for Floki, since YouTube is where a lot of retail investors get their information from. This undoubtedly contributed to some of the significant holder growth we've seen. More of this in the pipeline. The Floki Vikings are the single most based, Flokish, and diamond-handed community that has been seen in crypto. Tonight, I honor all Vikings for your fortitude, celebrate, and embrace each other. Vikings. Flokimandu is with us tonight. Also, fun fact, I played Skyrim for a little while over the weekend, and I had some little kid with me the entire time, and when I traded the little kid in Riverwood, his name was Floki. Heh! Moving on. Saitama Wolfpack You're trading at 24.52. That's up 14% again. And this thing is just one side of a giant mountain at this point. It continues and continues to rise. Wolfpack, whatever you do, keep doing it. I know the gas fees are a little bit high, but hey, you know what? Keep being faithful. You will see investors continue to grow. I've seen it. I'm watching it every single day. There's a link, by the way, in Telegram to the AMA last night. It's posted on Twitter. Also, there are only 5 of the Oh Did I Break Yo Concentration official NFTs for all the mother fudders. So guys, keep doing what you're doing. Everything is looking great. Wolfpack to the moon. Moving on. Kishu, what's going on, guys? You're trading at 56.60 right now. That's down 3% on the day. There's a nice little lift coming after the dip. You guys experienced it like everybody else. But more importantly, the captain is giving a post that says that Raymond is now posting on YouTube for Kishu Inu Trading, for Binance KuCoin, and more. There are Kishu Inu updates. So, guys, if you want to check him out, go into their Telegram, look through the pinned links. There's also the KTS series, which is continuing to go on YouTube. I am just covering the numbers for the most part, so I'm not involved in that whole process, but I got to tell you, things are looking good for Kishu. Moving on. All right, Starlink troopers. I do not want to be the one. You know what? I had to stop at this moment and exactly do it. You guys are trading down 19%. I understand that's not a great number. I'm sure that's not the number that you want. I know that big things are happening, but you're trading at 1337, and this is the first time I've been able to use 1337 on any one of my updates, and I am really excited about using the number 1337. You know why? Because I'm an old guy. I've been on the internet for a long time, and I love 1337. It just makes me giggle 20 years later. So you guys are down just a little bit on the day, but I saw what was going on with Scott Brown yesterday, which was a big announcement to me. Just so you understand, I, in many ways, have always been something of a video game nerd, and the fact that the guy who made Jumpgate is a big deal for me, and it's a big deal because Jumpgate is the spiritual successor to a game that I played 20 years ago called Star Wars Galaxies, which had it had a lot of ground-based action, but it also had a space system, and the space system is so derivative in Jumpgate of the Star Wars Galaxy experience that you sometimes, when you watch videos of comparison, you have to do a double take. And I thought that that was a great game, and the way that the game played was magnificent, especially on a PC, not even to mention a controller. They captured the spirit. They did everything that they could do to make a keyboard layout, and I think to this day, if you're on a space game that does something like that, then you're experiencing it probably the same way. So if you haven't already, go play Jumpgate. Go check out what the game was all about, and be extremely happy that you guys are being consulted by one of the GOATs in space gaming history, and it is my understanding that one of his heroes is also maybe in the realm of talking about something. There's a lot of depth and a lot coming to the Starlink metaverse, and guys, you can't be anything more than ecstatic and excited. Pay no attention to that dip in the window because it's not going to last. Moving on. All right, guys. Really, at this point, I feel like I'm just picking on Shiba because Shiba keeps falling and keeps falling and keeps falling and keeps falling and falling and falling and falling and falling and falling. And their $6 billion market cap is down to $3 billion, and there seems to be no life, and they don't seem to care what I'm saying. So we're going to stop the coverage on them. They're trading at 61.61, down 9%. And I mean, maybe something good's going to happen. Maybe we'll end up seeing it, but we're just not seeing it right now. So we're going to leave the dead stick over there, and we're going to stick to the ones that matter. Moving on. All right, guys, I don't want to get off on a rant here, but this rant is real simple. The government of El Salvador just moved the market in order to secure more Bitcoin, which means that in order to keep up with this, there are going to be more governments that are going to move on Bitcoin, and it's going to be in the near, not far future, because there are multiple different countries that are talking about moving into the crypto space and making crypto legal tender, which means that Bitcoin is about to have a run like it hasn't seen right now, to prices that are in the stratosphere. And that's a great thing for the investors right now, but that is also incredibly concerning, because if you consider that we, for a long time, are part of the gold standard, and Bitcoin is the gold standard on the internet, then we are slowly but surely, and now even more quickly, moving to a spot where the government is starting to control the gold supply. And when you reach a spot where the government is in control of the gold supply, then they are able to manipulate the market like you just saw yesterday. That was a giant shakeout. That was a manipulation where there was a massive sell-off. Then there was a continued cascade of large sell-off from people who had already made a nice profit. And what they did is specifically targeted the bots that then hit their little catastrophic button and started to sell off so that they avoided losses, which caused the prices to dip in a flash like crazy, all the way down to about 42, 43,000, which then kicked in the buybacks and brought the price back up to, I think, what's now 47,000. So you're seeing market manipulation, but you are just now starting to see the start of it, because one of the great things about this business is that cryptocurrency is the future. It's the way that money is going to transfer. But the bad thing is it's going to be controlled in some way by the governments of the world. And you are just now starting to get real tastes of the power of government or capitalists. In May, you saw the power of Wall Street, and you saw the power of China's laws. Then you saw the power of El Salvador, a very small country with a lot of wealthy friends and people interested in this adoption, because at the end of the day, they're going to make a lot of money. But in making all of that money, you're now giving up a lot of freedom. And if you're not concerned about that, then you are probably part of the problem. The DeFi network represents freedom to everybody. It represents the ability of me, a casual user, being able to transfer a small loan to a friend of mine who lives in Europe, or who lives in China, or who lives in Africa, or who lives in India, to give them a small loan because they're my friend and we're a worldwide community, and it's without the government being involved. Currently, the only way for me to transfer money and to help a friend of mine out is with government involvement. That's how our societies work and function. And now the one saving grace that we've had, which is DeFi, which allowed people to do things like that for benevolent and malevolent purposes, but that allowed us to do those kind of things, it's now coming under attack by governments who are trying to both regulate and control it. So take this time to be very afraid of what's coming in the future, and use this opportunity to prove that you have diamond hands with your products, and get rich before there's no getting rich anymore. You're just working for the government. That's all my time, guys. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and let's have a prosperous day.
Been around since the 80s and wasn't always cool, especially with the ladies. I was a damn fool. Dad was an alcoholic. Mama, she had to leave him. Grew up around the fighting, the fussing, cussing, and cheating. That's when I started breaking all of the rules, selling drugs and robbing people. I was kicked out of school. I was a bad kid, mad kid, tearing shit up, sleeping on couches with 40 bottles and cigarette butts.